every day you're bound to sin, and you're bound to be backsliding constantly, so it takes a constant prayer to God. Now, a righteous man is not a sinless man. Or you notice he said Elijah was a man subject to like passions as we are. He had his ups and downs and his differences, and the scripture of his life proves that he had his ups and downs like we do. He had his times of wandering, and his times that his temper got away from him, and he had a lot of things that went wrong. But he was still a righteous man because he confessed his unworthiness and believed in God. So that's what made him righteous. We're not righteous within ourselves. We're righteous through Jesus Christ. I cannot be sanctified within myself. I am sanctified through Jesus Christ, who stands in the presence of God in my place. And it isn't my holiness, it's His holiness. My holiness won't work at all, but His does, because God's done accepted Him, and then accepting Him, He had to accept me because I'm in Him. That's what makes it real, isn't it? And we don't have to depend on ourselves. Now, that doesn't make us say we can sin. Brother, if you sin, you're just away from God, that's all. There's only one thing to do is confess it and get right with God. As long as you desire to sin, the desire of sin still in your heart, then it's time to stay down at the altar to let things taken out. Now, you will sin. You're bound to sin, because you just can't help it. But not willfully sin. He that sins willfully after to receive the knowledge of the truth. See, there remains no more sacrifice for sin. But every day you're bound to sin, and you're bound to be backsliding constantly, so it takes a constant prayer to God. Paul said, I die daily. And if Paul had to die daily, how much more am I going to have to stay dead all the time? if Paul had to die daily to stay right with God. And so we'll all have to do that. Just die out to yourself, and that's getting God's way. Now, there's only two ways of anything. That's the right way and the wrong way. And them ways are your ways and God's way. And you can't be in your way and God's way at the same time. You've got to forget your own way to get in God's way. And you've got to get out of your own way to get in God's way. For as long as you're in your own way, you're out of His way. So forsake your ways, forsake your thoughts, forsake everything, and just rely on one thing, on thus saith the Lord. That's all. Then you know you're right.